At this point, we're able to query for all of our created tracks within Graphical. But how are we going to allow users to dynamically create new tracks? Well, we're going to need to use a mutation. So to add a mutation for creating a track, we'll want to head to tracks schema.py once again, and we'll add a new class called createTrack. CreateTrack will subclass from graphene.mutation, and we want it to return the created track on a track field. So we'll add this track field, set it to graphene.field, and it's going to take the shape of our track type, which is based off of our track model. Next, we need to provide our inner arguments class. Again, we know that to create a new track, we need to provide the title, which is of type graphene.string, the description, also a string scalar type, and URL the same. Now we need to add our resolver function called mutate, where we can pass in self info, and then we'll provide our arguments. We'll pass through our arguments. And note that if you're looking for a more concise way to pass through our arguments here to mutate, instead of including them one by one, we can use this quargs object. So within the context of our mutate function, we can grab, for example, the title argument that's provided on the arguments class by saying quargs.get title or description or URL. I'll go with the individual pattern. However, it's worth noting that if you have a mutation with a lot of arguments, look into that quargs pattern. So to create a new track, we'll use the track model, where we'll pass in the title argument, description argument, and URL. And we'll get back a created track, and we'll put it in this track variable. And then to persist it, to add it to our database, we can just say track.save. And finally, we need to return from our mutation our createTrack class, which includes our track field. We'll return createTrack, and the track field is going to be set to our created track. Next, just like we did for the base query class here within tracks/schema.py, we need to create a corresponding base mutation class. So we'll say class mutation, which subclasses from graphene.objectType. We'll add the createTrack mutation set to createTrack.field. Then we'll head up a level to app schema.py, where we need to add another mutation class. So class mutation, and this will inherit the mutation class that we provided within tracks. So that will be the path tracks.schema.mutation. And again, we include graphene.objectType, and then the pass keyword. We'll add this base mutation class to our schema. And now when we save our files, save all of our files, we'll make sure to start up our server if it isn't currently running. And we'll refresh Graphical. We can see there's a new mutation root type within our Documentation Explorer, and we have our createTrack mutation. So let's try creating a track. Say mutation, createTrack, and for the title, we'll say track 3, description, track 3, description, and URL track3.com. Then if we take a look at our createTrack type that's returned, we see all of the data is going to be on a track subfield, and from that we can get everything on track type. And a shortcut to hit the play button is Command Enter. So when that's run, we get our created track.